Okay, right here is a checkpoint. We're leaving the country, so they usually let you go right on by when you're leaving. When you're coming in is where they get you. You see the tower there. That tower is the one I was videoing the first time I seen it. I was videoing and I ran in the back of a taxi cab just right up here where the camera's pointing right now. I was coming into it and they were stopping everybody. So that's a funny. Okay, we're getting close to the Mexican-Guatemala border. Talisman, you see the sign here on the right is Talisman. That's the Mexican side. And then the Vulcan something or other, volcano. That's another town. We're going right on down. The Mexican side's Talisman, I think. And the other side is El Carmen. And we've always said El Carmen is like hell, and that's because it's so hot. And as you can see, we're going down, and this is I don't know if it is the lowest, but it's awful low in Mexico, and it is really hot here. I don't really think temperature-wise it's all that hot, but it's going to be the, what do you call it, the humidity, and there's no wind. As you can see, there's no wind at all. So I'd say it's probably going to be in the mid-90s, but it's going to feel really, really hot. And leaving the camera on because they're going to have an X-ray machine. A lot of times they'll have an X-ray machine here on the border here. And as you're coming into Mexico, they'll X-ray your vehicle. So I'll leave the camera on so you can look at how they do it. And this X-ray machine is different than the others. I mean, it's real slow. They want you to get out of the car when they do it. And so it's really, really bad. It really does a lot of X-raying, I guess. And, but anyway, so I'm leaving the camera on so you can see it. And I'm going to leave the camera on also as we cross the border. No, nada. What?
Como turista, ¿va?
No. No comprende, no nada.
Speak Spanish?
Speak Spanish, speak English.
English. Okay.
English.
You need the part here, and you need stamp to pass for
Yeah, I know.
In Guatemala, you need to pay for.
Sí,
okay?
sí.
You can help?
Yeah. Mi casa, Guatemala.
Okay.
Mi casa.
Guatemala, you pay for the car, tourist,
Sí.
or you cash in Guatemala? You permit tourists in Guatemala?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes. Sí,
You tax in Guatemala for the car?
No.
No tax. You permit?
Sí.
Okay, too. Okay. You can help you?
No,
My
no.
tip for me, $5 for you pay the Guatemala, okay?
No necesario.
Necesario.
No
In Mexico
necesario.
infinito.
Sí.
Okay?
Gracias. Gracias.
Es necesario.
Gracias.
When is park here?
Okay. No.
Ahí
No.
donde están de
No
paso.
necesite. No necesite.
Necesario,
No.
necesario.
Gracias. As you can see, they're trying to do this in. I want to go in here and got to get my passport stamped and get the vehicle taken care of. Oh man. This is a tough one here. Oh boy. And leave the vehicle here. And I'm going to try to Let me get all my papers. Yeah.
Tiene que
Parque.
esperarse allá donde están los anuncios.
Parque, aquí.
Ahí.
Ok, gracias.
Luego regresa.
Okay. Okay, see, yeah. Boy, that was a challenge. We got through. They have women doing the border stuff now, doing the stamping and immigration kind of thing. I really dislike dealing with women. Women want to do everything by the book, and I don't necessarily want to do things by the book. And I got all these people wanting to help me, and I don't want their help, so this is really funny. And it's going to continue getting funny over here. On the left is when I do my thing. Buenos días.
¿Qué tal? ¿Digo qué tal?
¿Cuánto cuesta?
5 o 10 pesos.
5.
Tomando fotos al paisano, el paisano,
Okay. Gracias.
Necesita un parqueo para hacer su trámite, ¿ok? Aquí no se puede parquear ahora. Antes sí podía parquear.
No, no gracias. Okay, yeah, in the old days, they're starting to get more organized. Right here on the left is where we need to be.
Al parqueo.
And
Esta es migración. Pero aquí no se puede parquear. Policía de tránsito. Regaña ahora, multa, 1,800.
So what I'm going to do...
No, no se puede parquear, prohibido. ¿Sí? Prohibido estacionar. Tiene que meterse al parqueo.
Yes, come on.
Dale adelante, adelante, parqueo.
They all say they want to help, but they're all just getting ready. I had trouble here one time crossing. 5 guys. I was ready to fight my way out. They weren't ready to fight. But anyway, now I'm going to go in and check on it, get everything done. Oh boy, we're having problems now.
Okay, let's go. I want you to park. For you pay for car. Give me copias. Copias.
Yeah, one.
Give me las copias for you necessary, okay?
Oh, no, go.
Okay.
What?
Oh. Are you necessary parking? I want to park here. This problem for police transit. For you pay car. Muchos carros, demasiados.
Sí.
Y hoy cambia de persona de aduana. Ya va a cambiar 1 hora hasta las 3 de la tarde.
no problem.
Por ello necesario, copias y van a escribir.
Dele, la vuelta, let's go. There.
These are all, see all these vehicles in tow. Most of them are Toyotas. They say they're, most of them will be going to Guatemala. And I used to know the guy that owned this place. And boy, it made things a whole lot easier. Now, gotta watch it. What's it do? It's gonna be fun. Now we'll see what happens. Okay, we got across. Got across the border. They tried to run a scam on me. They all work together on the border, and so I had some people say they're going to help me cross the border. And so he says I need to get copies. I got the copies, and then he had me go to a different place. Normally you go up there and then you do your thing, and then they stamp the papers and all that. And he took me off someplace else, and right when he started going off that, I started getting into defensive mode, because this is setting me up for getting mugged. And then then we went into this room, and the only thing is I could see where I needed to go, but it was across the fence. And they said to sit down there and wait. And so it wasn't right. So I didn't sit down and wait. So what I did is I went to the office there myself, and I started doing all the paperwork myself. This is why I don't like paying somebody to help me get across borders and stuff. Is they're really helpful, yes, but at the same time it's too easy for them to take advantage of you. And even at that point, I was up there getting my papers done, and some guy comes up there, and he approached me a different way than what they normally do. Remember, you saw him rushing to the car when we were up there. Well, this guy didn't. He just so happened to be just kind of hanging around there, and he did the translating. He just said, well, you need to give him these papers. And I was like, oh, yeah. So no problem, let's give him the papers. And I was, in my mind, I was trying to figure out if this guy's one of these guys you pay to help you do the paperwork or not. And I said earlier, when they speak English isn't a good sign. And that's what happened. This guy spoke English, and so my guard was really up. Why does he speak English? And why does he just so happen to be standing here when I need somebody to speak English? So in other words, he was part of the sting operation, I guess you might call it. It was a total of 6 of them that were involved on the thing. And I say, so we did our stuff. I got my papers, and then I had to go to the bank next door to pay. And then it just so happened he had a guy standing in line, so we just gave the papers to him, and then he went on and paid, so I didn't have to stand in line. And that's the time when I knew for sure this was going to be a paying proposition. I'd have to pay him. And I say, so we went on and we got all the stuff done, and everything's all done. And then so then they checked the vehicle, checked the VIN number and all that kind of stuff. Then after that, I crossed the border, and then that's when they officially looked at everything, checked, make sure everything matched, all the numbers and all this kind of stuff. So no problem. Oh yeah, that reminds me, the registration on the car did not have the license tag number on it. It had the VIN number, but no license tag number. And so then the guy said that there's going to be a problem because there's no number, no license tag number. And right when he said that, I knew there's going to be a scam and they're setting me up. Because what they're going to do is they're going to say, well, there was a problem and we had to pay the people to change the paperwork to make it done. This is why I don't like, oh, and they're talking about that. Guatemala had women on that side doing their taxes and everything on that side. And I don't like the women. And I figured out why I don't like doing it with women. Women do things by the book. And if there was a problem, if it was a man, I could just slip him, you know, a few bucks and, you know, he could fix the problem. But a woman, if there's a problem, well, she just can't do the work. She just does what she's supposed to do, and she can't readjust everything. And so when she was doing this stuff, I was expecting to have a problem with no tag number, but that wasn't a problem. We were able to get through it, no problem at all. So in other words, the guy was setting me up when he said that there was going to be a problem with that thing. And okay, these are speed bumps. And speed bumps are tough to get around. Okay, so anyway, I got through the thing. The guy checked the vehicle and all this kind of stuff. We went up there a ways. I'm sorry I didn't have the camera on, but that would have been a good one, because this is when all 6 of these guys got to my window. And then they started, you know, he gave me the paperwork, and then I knew when after I crossed, the guy didn't give me my passport and the papers I needed, but instead of that he ran and I needed to follow him. You can't go anywhere without your passport, so I have to stay with him when he has that passport. And so it was a little scary of a thing when he was running with my passport, and I was following him. But what it was, he needed the money, so that's why. So we ran up there, I gave him the money, so I gave him 50 of their money, 50 quetzales, and he said 100 more. And then I told him no, and then so I gave him 50 more. And I said, that's to give the guy standing in line at the bank. And then, like I say, I got my stuff, and then I went on down the road. But that's when I knew they all come together on that it was a sting operation, and I was the sucker. So, but anyway, and it took me a total of let's see, an hour and a half to get all my paperwork and all my stuff to cross the border. And remember, Mexico, I think it was an hour to cross, or to cross from United States to Mexico. So whenever you're at the borders is when you have the problems. I really hate going to the borders. well, I say it's an experience. Now they told me I had to get a permit for the car, and the permit is good for 90 days. But what it is, I can leave the country and they'll stamp the permit, and I come back and they'll stamp the permit again, so I don't have to go through all the paperwork. So in other words, if you choose to pay somebody to help you go through the border, if you choose to pay, find out how much first, and then just go on with that and be ready. And what they're going to try to do is, when they get done, they're going to try to squeeze more out of you, tell you had problems and stuff. So you're just going to have to play it by ear and use your own best judgment on what you're going to do. Now I'm about, I think I'm about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours from Shella. So depending on the road conditions, right now the roads are pretty good. I'm really surprised. You see the mud on the side of the road. So this is rainy season, so there's going to be more rain, and it's going to get ugly. Oh, you see